Life is a strange thing. Sometimes it takes you to the top, and sometimes it hits you at the bottom. Jean-Claude Van Damme knows this very well because he has experienced both. If you are going through what you call a difficult period in your life, there are great lessons to be learned from this video. Today I will talk about a journey from the narrow streets of Brussels to the glittering boulevards of Hollywood, falling from glittering streets into darkness, addiction, depression, suicidal thoughts, and getting back on your feet after all that. Van Damme's life advice isn't just the words of an action star, it's the life story of a man who fought real battles. Every morning when he woke up, he would make a promise to himself: "Today I will be better than yesterday." This simple sentence was the foundation of his philosophy. People would ask him, "How can you be so disciplined?" His answer was always the same: "Because discipline is freedom." When you are disciplined, you don't expect favors from anyone. You only reap the rewards of your own work. "That's why I made discipline my principle," he said. At first, it sounds contradictory. How can discipline be freedom? But Van Damme explained, without discipline, you are a slave to your habits, your weaknesses, your fears. But when you bring discipline to yourself, you gain the freedom to choose. You can get up at 5 a.m. and train, or you can stay in bed. Both are choices. If you don't get up and think about your own comfort, it will corrupt you and you will have to be under someone else's command. But only one thing makes you free. While sweating it out in a karate dojo in Brussels when he was young, his teacher told him, "Van Damme, learning technique is easy, but learning the spirit takes time." For years he couldn't understand the meaning of that saying. After becoming famous in Hollywood, while struggling with cocaine addiction, he understood. Technique wasn't everything. The spirit, the essence, inner strength, those were what truly mattered. "People see me on screen and think, 'This guy is a superhero,'" he said. "But I'm not a superhero. I'm just someone who fights every day. Aren't we all? Everyone wakes up in the morning and finds themselves in a battle. I'm someone who focuses more on winning in this battle, so if you find yourself in an impossible situation, remember me. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. The important thing is to keep fighting." One of Van Damme's favorite pieces of advice was, "Don't be ashamed of your mistakes, make them your teachers." He made countless mistakes throughout his career. Wrong film choices, wrong relationships, wrong decisions. He experienced all of this, but every mistake taught him something. "I've been married 5 times, he said, laughing. 5 times people look at me and say, 'This guy doesn't understand relationships.' And they're right. I learned a lot from each relationship. I learned something every time. Every failed marriage showed me a truth about myself. Maybe my greatest achievement isn't not getting married a 6th time, but learning from my mistakes." When he took ballet lessons, his friends laughed at him. "Men don't do ballet," they said. Van Damme didn't listen. "Manhood is not letting others tell you what to do," he said. "Manhood is charting your own course." I did ballet. I gained flexibility. I learned balance. I discovered grace. Then I combined that grace with martial arts. What makes me who I am today is that I did what others said wasn't a man's job. Masculinity or femininity are nothing more than impositions from people. You can work in jobs that allow you to make a living. It's nobody's business. He had worked for years on his famous leg split move. Hours of stretching every day. Pain, tears, muscle tears. "But I didn't give up," he said, "because I knew that this move would be my signature. It would make me different." People ask, "How did you become so flexible?" And I say, every day I opened up a little more. Every day I pushed a little harder. You can't achieve more without pushing harder. There's no magic, just discipline. Discipline doesn't just mean suffering. Discipline is shooting arrows at a target you believe in until you achieve it. The more you shoot at the target, the greater your chances of hitting it. One of Van Damme's deepest pieces of advice was about depression. Because he had so many problems with so many people, he was having difficulty controlling his thoughts. As a result, his thoughts became confused and he started to experience bipolar disorder. He lived with bipolar disorder for years and never told anyone about it because he was afraid. "I was afraid I would look weak," he would confess. "How can an action star say, 'I'm depressed'? I thought people would be disappointed. I thought people wouldn't find my films realistic," he said. "Then I realized that true strength lies in accepting your weaknesses. If you have a weakness, acknowledging its existence and being aware of your shortcomings is what makes you strong. I learned this after the age of 40. Now I look at all my mistakes in life with wisdom, not sadness. In 1999, he was at his lowest point. His cocaine addiction was out of control, 10 grams a day, $10,000 a week. I was trying to kill myself, but slowly, he said years later when we spoke. Every line, every gram was part of suicide, but I called it fun. I was lying to myself. One night he was sitting alone in his Miami home. He looked in the mirror. He didn't recognize the man he saw. Something broke inside me at that moment, he would recount. I saw a stranger in the mirror. His eyes were empty, his face pale, his soul dead. And I asked myself, who is this man? I knew the answer. This man was Jean-Claude Van Damme. I wasn't the person I wanted to be. The next day he went to rehabilitation, but he left after 7 days. I wasn't ready, he said. I wanted to change, but I hadn't suffered enough yet. Sometimes people need to dig deeper. I dug deeper. A few years later, he tried again. This time he was serious. The difference, he began, was that the first time I went because others wanted me to. The second time I went because I wanted to. That's the big difference. In a therapy session in rehabilitation, the therapist asked him, "Why do you use drugs?" Van Damme couldn't answer. He thought about it but couldn't find a reason at first. He thought about it for days. Then he understood. I was running away from pain, but what kind of pain? Not physical, emotional. The inadequacy I felt in my childhood, the feeling that I never fully received my father's approval, the feeling of being an outsider in Hollywood, the fear of I'm not good enough. I was running away from all of that. This realization changed everything. Drugs weren't the problem, he said. Drugs were just a symptom. The real problem was the pain inside me. I couldn't stay clean without healing it. Staying clean isn't just about staying away from drugs, he added. Staying clean is about making peace with your past, feeling peaceful in your present, and looking to the future with hope. For me, staying clean means keeping my thoughts clean spiritually as well as staying away from substances. He eventually learned to stay clean, but it wasn't easy. Every day is a battle, he said. Every day you wake up and you make a choice. Will you stay clean today? Yes. Will you stay clean tomorrow? I don't know, tomorrow hasn't come yet. I'm just focusing on today. Even the first few hours of the morning until lunchtime, will I be able to stay clean? Once I achieved that, the afternoon and evening, all these time periods were divided into small periods to work on overcoming substance addiction. One of Van Damme's most powerful pieces of advice was about forgiveness, forgiving yourself. People talk about forgiving others, he said, but forgiving yourself is harder. I tortured myself for years. I punished myself for every mistake, every failure. Then I realized I am my own worst enemy. If I don't make peace with myself, I will never find peace. His relationship with his children was also instructive. While teaching his daughter Bianca martial arts, he realized he was forcing her to live his own dreams. One day Bianca said to me, "Dad, I don't want to be like you. I want to be myself." Van Damme's world collapsed. At that moment I understood, he said. I'm trying to teach her to correct my own failures and not make the same mistakes, but this is her life. It's not a continuation of my life. This lesson taught him a great deal. He would advise, don't impose your dreams on your children, support them, but let them be free. They aren't copies of you, they are unique beings. He also talked a lot about aging. When he reached his 50s and 60s, Hollywood turned its back on him. Young actors were coming in. Hollywood worships the young, he said, but old age isn't a curse, it's a gift. Every year adds experience to you. Every wrinkle tells a story. When you see wrinkles, you remember the hardships you endured. Thinking about them makes you happy. You think, I've learned things from these. I'm stronger in my 60s than I was in my 20s, not physically but mentally. Isn't mental strength what's important? He asked me. I replied, physical strength is important too. What can someone do mentally without physical strength? He was a person who didn't believe in success in his mind. He also often talked about failure. Success spoils you, failure strengthens you, he said. I experienced so many failures in my career. I was rejected, humiliated, belittled. But every failure taught me something. It taught me not to give up. When he first came to Hollywood, nobody wanted him. His accent wasn't suitable for acting in films. He didn't speak English. He also looked very different. One producer told me, "You'll never succeed here." We can't understand your accent. We can't pronounce your name. You look weird. Van Damme went home and cried all night. But I got up again the next day, he said. Because if someone says you can't achieve a dream, it doesn't mean the dream is impossible. It just means that person's imagination is limited. His famous leg-splitting move for the Volvo commercial happened when he was 53. He was standing between two trucks moving forward. His feet were on the mirrors with no connection to each other. It was very dangerous. The crew was worried. But I knew I could do it, he said, because I'd been preparing for this for 40 years. Age is just a number. If you take care of your body, if you invest in your soul, you can perform like you did at 20, even at 50. That commercial went viral. It garnered 86 million views. No film in Van Damme's career has ever received that many views. This taught me something, he said. It's never too late. At 53, I had the most viral moment of my career. Who would have thought? He also spoke about meditation. Westerners don't understand meditation, he said. Meditation isn't just sitting and being silent. Meditation is about making peace with your mind. I meditate for 20 minutes every morning. I just sit, I breathe, I listen to myself. What am I listening to? My inner voice. That voice always tells me the truth. One of his most impactful quotes about fear was, "Fear is a lie. It's a story we make up about the future. I've been afraid of so many things in my life, failing, being rejected, being alone, dying. But then I realized 99% of the things I feared never happened. The remaining 1% didn't kill me, it strengthened me." In an interview, he was asked, "What do you regret most in your life?" He thought for a long time. "Regret is a waste of time," he said. "You can't change the past, but you can shape the future. I made many mistakes in my past. If those mistakes created who I am today, I'm even grateful for them." He also talked a lot about money and success. "Money doesn't bring happiness," he said. "I'm proof of that. I earned millions. I had luxury houses, cars, everything. But I've never been so unhappy, because money only buys external things. It doesn't fill the emptiness inside." His eyes would sparkle when he recounted his happiest moments. "The happiest moment was the anniversary of my first clean year. I hadn't used drugs for a year. That night I sat alone at home. I went to my piano and cried. I cried with happiness because I had taken my life back." One of Van Damme's pieces of advice was, "Don't be afraid of loneliness. Loneliness introduces you to yourself. We are constantly preoccupied with others. Friends, family, social media, television. But when was the last time you were truly alone with yourself? Just you and your thoughts. No phone, no distractions." He also spoke about love. "True love is accepting someone without trying to change them," he said. "In my marriages, I always tried to change my spouse. I said, be like this, be like that, but nobody wants to change. People want to be loved as they are. I learned this too late." He shared his thoughts on the fear of death with me. "I was afraid of death," he said. "For many years I suffered from insomnia because I was thinking about death. Then I accepted it. Death is a part of life. It's natural. Inevitable. Maybe it's not as bad as we fear. Maybe it's just a transition." He had advice for young people. "Don't follow the path others have drawn for you," he said. "Draw your own path. Your parents might tell you to become a doctor. Society might tell you to be this or that. What does your heart tell you? Listen to it, because it's your life, not someone else's dream." Finally, Van Damme's favorite quote was, "Every day is a gift because there's a word today." In English, present means both today and gift. It's no coincidence. Today is a gift. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow hasn't come. Only today exists. Don't waste it. Jean-Claude Van Damme's life is a textbook. Rise, fall, and rise again. Victory, defeat, and comeback. He's not just an action star. He's a warrior who learned to survive. His advice isn't just words. It's truth written in blood, sweat, and tears. In this story, we talked about the challenges and memories in Van Damme's life. We will continue this series to honor him. If you also want to hear unknown memories from the life of your favorite actor, you can subscribe to my channel to be notified of my videos. If you've made it this far, I'd like you to add a few sentences in the comments describing the most difficult time in your life. Yes, I'm not side by side with you, but all the difficulties experienced in this life make us brothers and sisters. I want to help you.